everyone, and Illuminated Light Leaders. How are you doing? Wanted to jump in here today and really just have a chat about intuition. And because intuition, I want to know, are you listening to your intuition? And maybe I should even take it a step back and ask you this question. Are you attuned? Are you in tune with your intuition? Do you listen to it? Do you listen to those little nudges that kind of say, ooh, don't go that way, go this way? Are you listening to the nudges that say, oh, I should call so-and-so, or I should reach out to so-and-so? You know, our intuition is really our guidance, inner guidance system. I'm here to tell you that everything that you need to know is not outside of you. We think it is. We think the answers are outside of us. We think the answers are in another book, another program, but the reality is, hi Diane, the reality is all of the wisdom that we need, all of the answers that we have, that we desire, are actually inside of us. We know the answers. The problem is that for so many years, we have been taught, we have found ways, and we have done everything possible to not listen to our intuition. You know, I mean, even going back to being in high school and knowing that you shouldn't go out with that boy, but you really wanted to. You know, it's like you didn't listen to your intuition that said, not a good idea. And I poured myself a cup of water so that I could do this, and I left it way over there. So, my voice has been very, very dry since I got back. For those of you that don't know, I was in Boston for about 6 days, and yesterday I was on a plane, and it's a 6-hour plane trip, and so very dry air. Anyways, so intuition is your best friend, but you need to start listening to it. And not only that, you need to really develop your relationship with it again. Because like I said, for so long, we have pushed those nudges away. We've pushed them and said, oh, that can't be true. It's like, you know, you're in a job interview and you're offered the position, and somehow you know, it's like you can feel it in your body that you shouldn't take it, but it feels like a should. It feels like, well, what if no other job opportunity comes? I'll go ahead and take that one. And then as soon as you show up there, you realize this was not a good decision, and you can feel it, and you keep getting that intuitive nudge, not a good idea, but then you stay. Or, you know, and it could be the same thing with getting involved in a relationship. It's like, I don't know, but it's like, oh, well, maybe it'll work out. I'll just keep showing up. I'll just keep doing it. So I'm here to really ask you, like I said, that question. Are you really listening to your intuition? Because if you're not, I really would love to really just challenge you and say that could be why you're not getting the results that you desire. That could be why you're not attracting the clients that you want. You know, because intuitively, we do know what our messaging is. Intuitively, we do know how we want to show up. Yes, and that's absolutely true, because this all does go back to the Bible. It's just everybody's interpretation. The kingdom of God is within you. We talk about the universe as if it's an outside source. The reality is we are our own universe. We are the universe. It's really just an easier way to digest the information and use the information and show up if we suggest we're co-partnering with the universe, because it allows us to take it outside of our brain. Because I got to tell you, any of the thoughts that are in your brain are really the ones that you shouldn't be listening to. But one of the ways to tap into your intuition and really develop that sort of relationship with it and really bring it back to life, because if you've been ignoring it for so long, it's kind of gotten tired of giving you those little blips, those little warning signals. And you can do this through meditation, you can do this through journaling, you can really do it by just focusing on the now and not be worried about the future, not bring your past stories into the whole mix. So, are you listening to your intuition? I have found, for me personally, and I've really what's the word, challenged myself in probably the good last 6 months to really, every time I get an intuitive nudge, that's what I do. And I also don't act on things right away. But if I wake up and I get the nudge to go for a walk, I go for a walk. Because inevitably, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I go with the concept of being in co-partnership with the universe and being a co-creator with the universe, then there's a greater good for me to be doing. And if it's go for a walk in the morning, chances are I'm going to really need it. I need to get out. I need to exercise. If I get the intuitive nudge, like right now, I just got this overwhelming sense of get in your group, talk about intuition. So I'm doing it. And I don't think about it, because if I sat here and really thought about it, it's like, well, it's 5 o'clock my time. It's like, oh, who's going to be on Facebook Live? Why don't, I'll wait a little bit. Once our mind gets engaged, we go way off track. And this can happen in so many different areas of your life. But I really want to really hone in on the fact that you do know the answers. The answers are within you. And it's not to say that you shouldn't ask for help. Because from my perspective, what I find of value is the fact that we do ask for help. So asking for help, asking for guidance is a good, healthy thing to do, because how often, and you can, put a comment down below and let me know, how often do we think we're the only ones that are in this? We're the only ones with the problem. We're the only ones that are thinking this. It's like, and we don't want to look foolish, and we don't want to, let someone know that we may not know the answer. So often we think that we have to do all of this ourselves, whether it be working on our soul, whether it be building our business. We think we need to do it ourselves. And I got to tell you that there is a tremendous amount of support out there in any of the communities that you're in. Just ask the question, and you're going to get so many different answers. Now, what I do suggest is you take and say, what's right to me? What is the right thing to do? Because again, going back to that intuition, what should I do? Should I do red like everybody's suggesting, or does blue feel better to me? And do whatever feels good. Don't just take the answers that everyone's given you, but it gives you that perspective. It gives you that scope, and it gets you out of your mind from running the show. So that is my discussion. That's what I felt called to talk about, was intuition. Oh, I know. One of the things I was going to suggest was this whole trip that I just came back from, and I will be doing a couple separate Facebook Lives on it, was including the 2 days I spent with Gabby Bernstein, which was just like, oh, she's like my girl crush. But was doing that program, which I started back in October, was there was a lot of resistance to doing it, because it really made me make the commitment to myself, because of the investment I was making, that I needed to really sit down and start writing my book. But I waited. I listened to my intuition. I really sat with it. I journaled about it. And I kept coming back to do it. That's the message I kept getting, was do it. It was kind of like, a prove it moment of sorts. It's like you said you wanted to write a book. This is your opportunity. This is being presented to you. The timing works perfect. Do this course. And so I went ahead and did it. Now, back in October, when I started this, I really had no idea what I was going to be doing in February. I had no idea what's going to transpire. But intuitively, I knew that if I was being guided and really understood that that was what I needed to do, I just did it in faith. And it's the faith and the trust that really allows you to develop that relationship with your intuition. And it couldn't have come at a better time. Back in October, I had no idea what I was going to be doing in my business. In February, I knew what my desires were, but all the different things that have fallen into place between now and then, and the clients I'm working with, and the programs I've developed, I had no inkling back in October. But it's having that faith, it's staying in the now, it's listening to your intuition, and trusting that if you say yes, the next step will be revealed, and the next step, and the next step. It's when you don't take action that nothing happens. And, I've said this, and I can't say it, as often as I really, really need to, but if you aren't happy with where you are, you need to change what you've been doing, because otherwise you're just going to stay exactly where you are. And I don't care if the change is really small. It can be simply, doing instead of a morning ritual, you do an evening ritual. It can be, instead of driving down the street and turning right, you turn left. It can be in the morning. Instead of brushing your teeth first, you put your makeup on and then brush your teeth. Anything to shift up our subconscious and get it out of auto programming. Because we live so much of our life on auto program, we don't even recognize it. We don't recognize how often we get up in the morning, make our cup of coffee, pour the coffee the same way, drink it, journal. We get in these routines. And the routines can be good, but they also don't allow you to be conscious. They don't allow you to stay in the now. They don't allow you to think. One of the things that is really so powerful to try is when you're journaling, try journaling with your left hand. That really, really opens you up for channeled information, really, really allows you to download something totally different. And it gets you out of the routine, of writing with your right hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm using left-handed as being the opposite. But if you're left-handed, try writing with the right hand. You'll really find that it's just a different process. So mix your day up. Do something totally different. If you usually wear, tennis shoes and yoga pants during the day, wear something different. Just change it up. Changing it up really allows the energy within yourself to just shift and grow and change. It allows your intuition to become louder and clearer, and you will begin to trust that more. Have a dance party. Do something totally different. If during the day you're working from home and you're finding you're in that kind of slump and you're not, the muse isn't there, you're not finding that level of creativity, you're not able to tap into it, get up and go for a walk. It can be for 20 minutes. Don't get stuck in your routine. Diane says, yeah, she often paints with her opposite hand. Absolutely. It's really, really an interesting process. And yeah, breakthroughs behind, we were taught as kids, as girls, as women, we need to do everything ourselves. That's what and for someone like myself, that was how I survived. I saw it as survival. Is I could do this. I can do this by myself. I can do this for myself. And the reality is we're not in this world to be by ourselves. We're not in this world to be an expert on everything. We really physically, mentally cannot be an expert on everything. And, for those of you that have read the book, The Big Leap and the Zone of Genius, it's like, let everybody do their zone of genius. And you don't have to be, if you have a business and you're not great at graphics, find someone that loves to do graphics and let them do the graphics, because two things will happen. One, you're going to feel less anxiety. You're going to have more time to show up in your business of doing the things that you are gifted in, that you love to do. And I will, Becky. Did you talk about the, I'll have to ask her about it. But we so often think that, like I said, we need to do it ourselves without reaching out, without asking for help. It's been one of the biggest challenges that I've had to face, is realizing that I don't need to do everything in my business. And I will say one of the areas that's becoming more and more obvious to me and Becky can relate to this, is I suck at copy. I suck at writing copy. And yet, and I don't say that as a judgment. I say it as it's just a fact. And I can sit here and struggle and write, and then I do self-judge, and then I get stuck. I just need to find someone that can understand me, understand my message, and I can give them the words, and they can craft it. It's what I do with all my graphics. I can sit here and fuss around with Canva and get so totally pissed off, anxious, and then not even like what I come up with after 2 hours. I have someone that does my graphics for me now. And it's just nice. It's able, and then I get it back. And as a generator, it is hard to give up some of these pieces. But I'm also finding that as a generator, and part of my process is to respond, it is great for me to give that work to her. She gives me back samples. She goes, here's 5 things to pick from based on what I gave her to begin with. And so it actually allows me as a generator to show up and to respond to what she gave me. Yes, no, love it, hate it, do something different. So it is allowing her to be in her zone of genius. It frees up my time. I'm not anxious. And as far as the abundance and the flow of money, me paying her allows her to pay her people. And it's that energetic flow. It's the energetic flow. Yes. Let's see. What did Diane say? I'd be happy. I know. I have yet to, if I could get my cat to do the dishes and clean up the kitchen and do the laundry, that would be awesome. But yeah, that's not happening. If I got help, I didn't count it as my accomplishment. Absolutely. It really is a dynamic breakthrough that I had as well, which was getting help, and not because I used to see it as a sign of weakness. Like, where the hell did that shit come from? I'm weak because I choose to have someone else help me in my business? It's like, no, it's empowering. I'm able to run my business more efficiently and do the things that I am skilled in for my business than it is for me to spend 2 hours doing a graphic that someone can do in 2 seconds because they just love it. And I saw it as a weakness, and in fact, it's actually a strength to be able to recognize what in your business you can delegate, what do you need to delegate, and it doesn't mean you can't do it, but you don't need to do it. If you choose to do it, that's fine. But if it's not something you need to do, by all means, delegate it. Let someone else have that money. Shift it around. Energize it. Let someone else. We're all here trying to run our businesses. We're all here trying to run our business, right? So if I am, as a business coach, trying to run my business, and there's no one that's interested in getting business coaching because they're trying to do it themselves. And if someone's a graphic artist and they're trying to grow their business and no one's interested in having someone else do graphic arts because they're trying to, it's like if we're all being really selfish, we're not going to collectively move and grow. As a collective, let the graphic artist person run her business. Let it grow. Who knows? Maybe that person would end up being my client because she wants to grow her business. We're all in this together. It's that competition factor that is just so hard to shake. And it's really hard because we're online. We see what everybody else is doing. We see all the posts, and it triggers us. And I'm no exception. I can be triggered as shit if I start looking at what everybody's doing. And, it's part of it's human nature, but part of it is our ego. Our ego is not our friend. Our intuition is our friend, and listening to our intuition, trusting our intuition, and just moving forward is the way to get through those limiting beliefs and to bust through listening to your ego and making the wrong decisions. And because the reality is there's not really a wrong decision. If you consider it a wrong decision because it didn't work out the way that you thought, two things come into mind. One is the universe had a better idea, and that's why it didn't work, because there's something greater coming. Or two, so what, it didn't work out. Lesson learned, move on, do something different. All those little mini failures of sorts or things that didn't work out is what actually leads you to the next success. So there really isn't any mistakes you can't make. Don't hold yourself back. Don't be stuck. Don't stay stuck because you're afraid to make the wrong decision. The wrong decision is not making a decision. How's that? So listen to your intuition. Really, really start tapping into it. You can do this through meditation. You can do this through just being quiet. You can really just do this from closing your eyes and saying, does this feel right? If you don't get a clear answer, that's okay. That means there's no answer right at that moment. Either wait and ask again, reach out to some other people for some feedback, and then before you make a decision, go back into your internal, go back inside. What does it feel like? Where do you feel the answer in your body? And then make a decision. And the more and more you really, really exercise the intuitive muscle, as I call it, the more it'll come quicker. You'll know right away. It's like, oh, go do this. It's like, great. I'll go down to my car and empty my car out and bring up the suitcase I didn't bring up yesterday, because that was the intuitive nudge I got to do right then. It really can be so powerful. And remembering that you have your own answers. The answers are not always outside. They can guide you, they can give you ideas, they can give you suggestions. Then that program can help you, that book, that workshop can all help you. But it's not the end all be all. It's not going to give you the number one answer. It still needs to come from you. And I just recently was at a workshop for 2 days with Gabby Bernstein. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate live on this, but everybody in that room, and there was about 30 of us, everybody in that room heard the same message that she gave, the same answers, the same coaching that she gave. We all interpreted it different. We all had different businesses. Some of us were similar. Some of us was totally different. And it's really getting a grasp on the fact that we're not in competition with each other. And we all hear and interpret things and do things different because we're all unique humans. We are different. We're not going to run our business the same way. We're not going to, just because someone said show up and do lives and do this and do that, that may work for you, but it also may not work for you if it's not really you. The authentic you is who we want to see. That's how you get the clients. They want to know that they can relate to you. They want to know who you are. They don't want you to be someone reading a script that someone else gave you to read. And you can spot that. Think about the people that you follow versus the people you don't follow. Why is that? Because that will give you the answers on maybe how you need to tweak how you show up online, things you post, programs you offer. We are all mirrors for each other. And if it's something that triggers you, dive into that. Why is that triggering you? And what does that really mean? Because it has nothing really to do with the other person. It is a reflection on you. And why are you triggered? Why are you triggered about that post that says, oh, I just made, $20K this month, and it's only the 4th day of March? What triggers you about that? Because if you can dive deeper, if you can go deeper and really get to the bottom of why that triggered you, I guarantee you will be able to make the shift. And it might take a little bit of time to undo that limiting belief and to rewrite that story. But once you get the clarity and you recognize it, every time it comes up, you'll move through it that much quicker. And eventually, you will reprogram your subconscious so that when you see that post, you're going to be celebrating with that person. How fantastic. How fantastic is it that I'm in a community of women where someone I know just made $20,000 and it's the 4th day of the month? How awesome. Shifting your mindset, recognizing the triggers, and not letting them bring you down, but it's kind of like a bouncing thing. It's like, oop, trigger, bounce, great. Bounce back up. Don't stay down there, because staying down there is just going to get you exactly where you're at and what you've received so far. Listen to your intuition. Let me know your thoughts. If you're watching the replay, I would love to know you were here. Just, do hashtag replay. Just let me know you were here. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your questions. I'm always here in this group. I really want to know, what do you want me to talk about? Where are you stuck? What are your challenges? Leave some comments down below. Tell me what topics you'd like. I've got 2 master classes I'm going to be doing on Friday and Saturday. I'm going to post information on that. What else do I have going on? Acceleration, the mastermind. Direct message me on that as well. I've got some really great women that are really reaching out, and it's going to be such a great group. There's only going to be 5 to 8 women. It's going to be 4 months long. So many. I've really packaged this mastermind to give you and give the collective group of women that are going to be in this group so much value. There'll be bi-weekly coaching calls. There will be bi-weekly industry experts that are going to come in and give us, share all their wisdom. And more importantly, there's going to be a lot of me in this container that is going to be able to really give you the personalized information that you need for your business. This is not a cookie cutter program. Masterminds are not programs. They are collective. They're the energy and the synergy of the women in the groups. And everyone can contribute, everyone can share their ideas and suggestions. It's very collaborative. And it's, for me personally, been one of the ways that I've been able to escalate my business quickly, because it's just a powerful container. And in this, the acceleration, I'm also doing one private one-on-one call every month. So you get a ton of access to me for whatever business you're in. So reach out to me if you want information on acceleration. It starts at the end of March. I've got so much going on this month. Just keep following me, and I'll let you in. I'm launching my podcast next week. Oh, what else do we have? Master classes. I've got 2 programs coming up. All the things. So thank you for being here. And please let me know your thoughts and comments. If you have anybody that you know would be an awesome fit for this group, please have them asked to join, and they can recommend, reference your name. I'll know they're super awesome women, because that's who's in this group. And yeah, thanks. Bye.